again, like I think if you're involved in the football business as long as I know, as I have, clubs aren't talking to each other unless the player knows about it. We weren't negotiating with Wolfsburg for Mickey Van der Veen and then trying to figure out whether he wants to come to us. All those kind of things are decided. So, those conversations I had a conversation with Harry the first day I arrived, and he was upfront and honest, and I was the same. And you kind of get an indication there that he kind of made up his mind that if the clubs agreed that he would go, particularly if it was, obviously his emphasis was before the first game. That was my preference as well. And there's nothing been along the way that's sort of made me feel like there's anything other than this outcome. So, like I said, none of these things happen in isolation. Everyone's pretty clued into what's going on. So, from my perspective, I hadn't received anything either from Harry or from the club or anyone else to suggest to me that anything had changed about his stance.
And on James Maddison, a lot of Spurs fans are happy to see him here at Tottenham. Was he a player that you wanted early on as soon as you got him, what you're expecting him to bring to this team?
Yeah, I mean, he was probably one of the first pieces of business we did. Yeah, I mean, he was available, and I was really excited to bring him into the group, knowing sort of what we needed to build here, and again, in the back of my mind, knowing that if Harry was going to leave, that's a fair few goals walking out the door, and you can't just replace that. I thought with one player, and I think an area of the club that probably needed some bolstering was midfield threat in terms of goals, and that's what Matters provides, goals, assists, and if we're going to sort of cover the fact that Harry's gone and all the goals are leaving with him, we can certainly try and spread that out, and Matters definitely provides that, and he's been brilliant since he's come in. To be fair, he's been outstanding, not just in the games but in training, and the way he's kind of embraced the club, and the way he's kind of developed in the football we want to play.
And do you sense that despite it's been a difficult couple of years, the Spurs some negativity in particular last year, but do you feel as if you've despite Kane going, you've really sort of united all the fan base? I think a lot of Spurs fans, when new faces coming in, you're an optimistic guy, you're very enthusiastic. I think Spurs fans have really taken to you early on. Do you feel as if you kind of got everyone on side early on, and everyone seems really united going into the new season?
Yeah, look, I think it probably belies the general impression of managers, but we're all eternal optimists, or else we wouldn't do this role, mate. There's enough people telling you can't do things that if you don't go into any challenge believing you can be successful and believing that you can bring success, then there's no point being in it. So I was under no illusions of the enormity of the challenge, but at the same time I was bullish in myself that we could accomplish something here. And in terms of the supporters, I've said all along, they've got the right to feel the way they want to, and it's up to us to change that if we don't feel, if there's a negativity amongst them, it's up to us to turn that around. It's not up to them to just sort of blindly, they'll always, have this eternal faith in their football club, but in terms of us, the people who represent it, we've got to prove to them that there's something to get behind there, and Sunday's an opportunity for us to begin to do that, and then hopefully, that positivity transfers to our next home game, and then because the energy that they provide the players will be enormous in us trying to achieve what we need to.